Hello, FSRC. Thank you so much for joining me for another session of Tech Boot Camp. Um, Tonight is week 4 of our Tech Boot Camp. I believe it's week 4. Let's see, first we did Google Contacts, and then we did some Facebook stuff, and then week 3, I think we did Google Calendars. So I believe we're on week 4. Tonight, what we're going to be talking about is Canva and Phonto, but I am just a minute or so early, so I'm just going to wait a few moments just to verify that everything is set up on here correctly. My wife is in, Angie is in the frozen tundra of Alaska tonight, and she's usually the one that gives me the thumbs up as far as if we are broadcasting. Okay, I am going to assume, though, that everything is going okay. Actually, you know what? Can you pass my phone? Is my phone right there? Thank you. I'm going to just do a quick I think I'll just do a quick verify here since I have another minute or two to make sure. Yep, nope, it says that I am broadcasting. So, okay. So I show 5 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and get things started. So again, thank you for joining me. My name is Travis Chalemi, business leader with Blooming Sales Tupperware, one of the members of the FSRC. My role in a lot of what we do at Tupperware is in a support role and communications role. And so we put together this tech boot camp for the week, or for every week, to get FSRC people opportunity to get training on a number of things tech related and communications related. As I said before, we did Google Contacts, which I think we started with that because I think it's the most important thing that you can do for your Tupperware business. We followed that up with some Facebook training. We followed that up with some Google Calendar training. And today, what we're going to talk about is Canva and Phonto. And when I've been putting the announcements out related to this, I've always kind of put Phonto in parentheses, and that's because what I'm going to be showing you today how to use is Canva. And the reason is because I really think that Phonto and Canva are two tools that do the same thing, but one is for really a more specific audience than the other. And so what is Canva? What are Phonto? Every business typically has a need for some graphic design of some kind. If you're a restaurant, you need menus. If you're an auto parts supply store, you need to put together a circular an advertisement for weekly specials, whatever it might be. And what traditionally, if you were to look at, maybe 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, what was a lot of what's happening is we would do one of two things. Either we would find a graphic designer, such as myself, and we'd say, hey, I need you to design this stuff for me. Or maybe we would go to like a Kinko's or something and work with them, and they would design some stuff for you. Or we would resort to using like a Microsoft-based tool to do design. Like Microsoft Publisher, I think is probably one of the more common ones. But there's a number of issues with that, in my opinion. One, I can tell you unequivocally, as a graphic designer, Microsoft tools are not good for graphic design. I just don't believe that they are. I think that Microsoft does a wonderful job with operating systems and spreadsheets and word processors and a whole bunch of stuff. I don't really think that most of their mainstream tools are well suited for graphic design. And really, the way my reasoning for that is I'm a graphic design professional. I do not know a single graphic design professional that would say Microsoft is a serious tool when it comes to graphic design. Now, they do have some new offerings, right, with Microsoft's tablets and their Surface tab, those sort of things. They do have some things there that are interesting. But still, I don't know professionals that are saying, oh, I have to go design a menu, I have to go design a flyer, I have to design an invitation. I'm going to go open up my Microsoft tools to do that. So the problem with it is the tools outside of that are terribly expensive. Traditionally, you'd be looking at using something like Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator or InDesign or those sort of things, and they cost a lot, and the learning curve on them is very, very steep. You pretty much are going to be a full-time professional graphic designer by the time you get those tool sets well within your tool belt there. So a couple of years back, some people online realized, this is an issue. People want to design stuff. We want to give them a tool where they can design stuff, but they don't necessarily need an art degree, or they don't need to spend hundreds and hundreds or thousands of dollars on software. So a lot of different things started popping up, like Canva, Phonto, these sort of things. And what these are, they are tools that essentially say, look, we're going to give you some basic graphic design tool sets. We're going to give you some color, some templates. We're going to give you some color schemes. We're going to choose some good fonts and good typography, and we're going to make those available to you. So you don't have to sit down and say, gee, my computer has 120 fonts. Which one should I use? They're basically paring it down for you and saying, look, these fonts work really well, and there's a reason why they work well. They're very legible. They print nice. They look nice on a computer screen. They have a bold and an italics and lots of different font weights to them. And so they've sort of taken some of the guesswork out of it and said, look, let's put a tool in front of you so that you can focus on the content, use some of our templates to sort of get you going in the right direction, but then make sure that what you end up creating is something that's going to work and be useful and legible and those sort of things. So that's sort of the preamble to where these tools came from. Now, the difference really, in my opinion, between Canva and Phonto is this. Canva has more options for output and what you put into it, meaning Canva is really a tool to create things small, like business cards, large, like posters, anything in between. Canva is well suited for that. Phonto, very similar software, but definitely geared toward the mobile environment, right? So it's for creating memes, for posting on Facebook or Twitter, or those sort of things. It's not the sort of tool you're going to use where you're going to pull out your mobile phone and design something and say, okay, I'm going to print this out on 8.5 by 11 paper and create these flyers to post around the neighborhood or something. Canva is far better suited for that. So what I wanted to do is show you Canva tonight, because it can, since it's more versatile, it can do both. It can do the memes or it can do the print stuff. I think Canva is a great tool to train on tonight. Now, you'll have to forgive me. I don't have someone who's assisting me with questions tonight, so I will do my best to answer questions in the comments after I go through the demonstration portion of this. So, okay, so I'm not going to insult your intelligence and show you how to create a Canva account. Essentially, you're going to go to canva.com and you're going to sign up for an account. The accounts are free. There are additional levels of accounts where you can upgrade to get access to certain things, but I'm using the free account here. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. What I said, I'm going to go ahead and log in. There we go. Once you're logged in, what I love about Canva right off the bat is it's asking me a question. It's sort of giving me a little bit of guidance, right? Where it's saying, hey, what would you like to design? And I'm going to say, what do I want to design? What are some things I might design for a Tupperware business? Well, I might design an invitation if I'm inviting people to a party. Maybe I have a host that wants some invitations and the party's a themed party. It's an 80s Tupperware party, or it's a sports-themed Tupperware party, or it's a baby shower-themed Tupperware party, whatever it might be. You can create some custom invitations for that. So invitations are a really good thing to use this for. How about flyers? Okay, so if you're doing some sort of taste of Tupperware, or you're doing a Tupperware bingo, or you're doing, I forget what the quarters game is. Well, not quarters, not like drinking shots quarters. Although if you want to do that, create a flyer for that, I suppose. So if you wanted to create a flyer, you can create flyers for that. If you want to create like a poster, if you're having a recruiting event and you want to create a poster for a recruiting event, you can create those sort of things. So it's asking me right now, what would you like to design? I'm going to type in an invitation here in the search. And you can see it's saying, oh, okay, an invitation. Typically, those are 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters or 5 by 7. Well, I'm going to create an invitation here, a 5 by 7 portrait-sized invitation. And you'll see it's giving me this big white blank sort of thing over here on the right-hand side. And then over on the left side, I've got lots of different template options over here on the left. And I love this. I can scroll through and say, oh, look at all these wonderful templates. And as you keep scrolling, it just keeps loading more and keeps loading more and keeps loading more. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these things in here. And this is just for vertical, this is just the list for the vertical invitations. So you can imagine the posters and the memes and all of these. They all have a variety of different designs. And what's nice about these is some of them cost some money, right? So the way Canva, many of you might say, well, how does Canva stay in business? Well, this is how Canva stays in business. They offer some of this for free, and then they say, you know what? Yeah, we have some of these for free, and some of them cost a little money. Some of them cost $1, some of them cost $2, that sort of thing. And so it's really great because you may find a design where you say, oh my gosh, that is amazing. That is exactly what I want. And rather than me spending an hour and a half trying to figure out how to do that design, I'm just going to spend $1. My time is more valuable than that. I'm going to invest in my business, and I'm going to spend $1 or $2 on this this particular template because it's absolutely perfect for what I want to do. In this case, though, I'm going to pick a free one. Let's say, oh, here's a free one. It's got some balloons on it. That's pretty good. So I'm going to click on this. So now when I click on this, you'll notice it's given me two different variations of that New Year's Eve invitation. And so I'm going to click on this first one here because it's got the balloons on there. And now, of course, I'm not doing a New Year's invitation. Okay, but the point is I like some of the design elements of this. I like the balloons. I like the polka dots up on the top. The typography is really nice and clear and legible. So I like some of the elements, but now I kind of want to make it my own. So this is kind of where I think of it like you're cooking spaghetti sauce, right? You might grab like a jar of spaghetti sauce off the shelf, and then you get home, you doctor it up, you add your own stuff to it to make it your own. That's kind of what we're going to do here. I'm grabbing this design off the shelf, and now I'm going to come in and say, okay, let's make some changes to this. Well, the first thing I want to do is let's change the text, right? Because I'm not doing a New Year's Eve countdown. I'm doing Susan's, let's do Susan's Tupperware party. And then let's say instead of the whims and apartments, we're going to say food, fun, and how about food, drinks, fun, something along those lines. Susan's Tupperware party. And then here we're going to ring in the new year. We're not going to say that. We're going to say, come learn about what Tupperware has to offer. And obviously, you would have a message that's a little more crafted than what I just did there. And then the 31st of December, we'll just pretend that all the address stuff is the same. And if there's some of these, so then down here we have this please RSVP down here to Janice. Okay, so we can leave the rest of this alone, but you get the idea. So these elements are editable, okay? Not only are they editable in terms of the text, but I can take and move this around if I wanted to for some reason. Anytime you move items around like this, you'll notice as I'm moving this, it's going to tell me, hey, that's centered, right? So that's kind of nice. It's like, well, no, I want it to be centered. I just want to raise it up a little higher. So I'm going to put it up here. Okay, so what else can we do with this, with the text on this? Well, I can take this text here, and I can say, you know what, I'm not crazy about the yellow font, or and so I can come in here and I can pick a different color. Maybe I want to do a purple, right? I say, oh, that looks really nice. I like the purple, but what I don't like is this background blue color. So I'm going to click on this background blue color, and you can see when I click on that, I no longer have this selected. Now I've got the choices of what can I do with this background. I'm going to change this from blue. I'm going to choose, let's go with this really nice green. Okay, that's kind of hideous. Let's go with this nice blue. I might go with this. Okay, so I've got this blue on here. Maybe this purple doesn't work anymore, so I'm going to come back into here and let's select something. Something like this. That teal and gray colors is kind of in. So then I'm just going to come in and just set a couple different color choices in here. Let's go ahead and let's not going to spend too much time making this look great. Let's go ahead and set that back to gray. Okay, so you can see as I'm in here, you're selecting the different elements and you're choosing which colors you would like for them to have. Okay, so now I've decided, you know what, I don't like this type. This type is a little boring. The font itself is boring. You have lots of different font choices you can choose from here, but again, keep in mind that the template's there for a reason. They've taken a lot of the decisions out of it for you. Now you can totally go crazy on this and go through and change every single thing. It will allow you to do that. Just keep in mind, the more you do that, the more you're kind of getting away from that design that originally you really liked. I will say, I cannot stand this background color. Now you'll notice here, we've run into our first thing here. These are the colors that are already in the document. Here's the default colors. And then if I want to add another palette, when I click on that, it's going to say, hey, do you want to add more colors to this? Then we're going to need you to pay a little bit for that, right? And so I'm going to close out of that because I don't want to pay for that right now. I'm just going to pick a different color font. We'll go with this yellow. Okay, and then I'm going to click these elements up here. So we've got these polka dots up here. Now notice when I click on those, it's telling me, hey, look, here's the colors of those dots. Oh, well, that's interesting. I want to do some purple dots, and I want the other yellow ones to be pink, and then I want the grayish ones, let's do those lime green. Oh, okay, well, that looks kind of fun and festive, right? We've got some fun Tupper colors up there, and then I'm going to click on these balloons down here, and sort of the same thing. When I click on this element here, I get the colors up here. So I'm going to say, all right, I want those gray balloons. Let's go back to our pink sort of palette. And I want the yellow balloons to be purple. And so, oh, I've only selected one balloon. You can see there. All right, so each one of these is different. That's even better. So I can pick a green color balloon here. Let's do lime green, and then this one might be pink, and then this one might be blue. So we can pick all colors of all of our balloons. Can be different fun stuff, right? Again, I don't. Well, I have a graphic design background, but you don't have to have a graphic design background. With this is I can just come in and I'm going to make this my own. So I've got a couple more here so we can make this complete. There's an orange one, and let's do this yellow to, we already had a purple. Let's go another blue right there. Okay, so as you can see over here on the left side, we started off with this New Year's Eve countdown, and look, we've already done something that is a little more interesting. I'm going to, I think I want this text to be a bit bigger, so I'm going to grab the corners of this and stretch this out here. Okay, so I like where this is going. I'm going to, I am going to change this font. I think this is just boring. So I'm going to pick something a little more fun here. Now we want to be careful. We don't want to pick anything that's really difficult to read. So if I pick Allura, right, it's like, oh, that's fancy and awful. It's terrible because you can't read it. So we don't want to do that. So you really do want to try to stick to things that are somewhat simple. Usually, let me get, I really like Argo. Argo, that's kind of fun and bold and in your face. I kind of like that. I think the, let's see. Yeah, I like the way that particular thing is looking there. So what are some other things that we could do with this invitation? Okay, well, we could say, you know what, I like these balloons down here, but I want to add something up here. I want to add some more graphic sort of things to this. So just to recap where we've gone, we opened up Phonto. Let me grab a drink. We opened, Canva. We opened up Canva. We told Canva, hey, I'm creating an invitation. And then it showed us a bunch of invitations. And then I selected this one because I like the general design. And then we took that general design and we tweaked it, made it our own. And now I'm going to add some additional elements to this. So over here on the left side, you can see this whole time we've been in this templates tab. I'm going to switch over to the elements tab. What the Elements tab is going to do is it's going to say, hey, here's all these things that you can add to your design. Right now, we're doing an invitation, so I can't imagine there's really a need for a chart in our invitation. But think about it. If you have some sort of report that you're putting together for your team, maybe it's tracking your sales or tracking your, somebody's trying to achieve a car or whatever it might be. These charts can come in handy to create those reports. So don't look past the charts. There's illustrations here, there's icons here, there's lines, there's all kinds of different things that you can put into here. What I want to do is I want to put an illustration, I think, in here. Because we've got the balloons, but I want to put some more party elements in here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on illustrations. It's going to bring me in here, and it says, okay, here's all the illustrations. And as you can imagine, there's like just a whole bunch of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, you know what, I'm actually looking for something that's, like a party sort of themed, right? And so, okay, yeah, here's some fun stuff, party theme. I love this, right? This has kind of got this little banner thing, and it's free. So I'm going to grab that. I want that on there. So I'm just going to grab it and drag it out here. And I say, oh, yeah, that's kind of fun. That looks like a kind of a fun party thing. I like this. And so I'm going to stretch it out here, and then maybe I'll move it up a little bit so it kind of goes off the edge, but that's fun. And then I'm going to say, oh, you know what? What I don't like about it is what? I don't like how this is on top of my words. So how can I change that? Well, up here in this bar, remember before we changed the colors of things, so I could change the colors here. One of the things that's up here also is the position of this. So I could say, I like that, that's really cool, but I want to change the position. I'm going to go to position, I'm going to say, you know what, I want to send it backwards, right? It's on top now. What I want to do is I want to move it backwards. So I'm going to click backward, and then, oh, look, it put it behind the dots, the polka dots. That's good, but I actually need to go backward even more. There we go. Now I've got it backward where I want it. It's behind the words here, and the confetti is kind of looks like, it's kind of fallen down. Boy, this is really kind of looking fun. So I like that element. That's fun. And then let's see what else we have here. Oh, look, we've got this. This is fun. I like this little, this little tooting thing. So I'm gonna pull that out here. And I'm gonna say, oh gosh, that's gigantic. So let's go ahead and grab the corner of that and shrink that down. Then we're going to move that, I don't know, let's put it over here somewhere. That's pretty good. Maybe shrink it down just a little bit. And let's put that here. Let's see, is there one other element maybe we could put over on the other side? You know what I want? Let's see here. Oh, what are these? So you can see here, so here's the one, some of these cost $1. Some of them are free. It just really depends on. See, that's a really nice banner, but I'm not going to spend $1 on that. The one I have is fine. You know what I can do? Let's go ahead and pull this same thing out. This will show you how to do something that's neat on here. I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to shrink it down, kind of like the last one. But what I want to do is I want it to point the other direction, right? So I can have this selected, very similar to this, but I'm going to have that selected. I'm going to flip it. So I'm going to come up here to the top where it says flip. As I said, do you want to flip it horizontally or vertically? I want to go horizontally. Whoop. And then it flips that right around. It's like, yay, I can put that right there. That's nice. And what that does is maybe that draws attention to this please RSVP, which we completely can't see right now. So I'm going to select that text. I'm going to go back in, grab that text, and I'm going to change the color of that to red, and I'm going to make it bold, and I'm going to make the font size larger. That might be that. I'm going to put that on 2 lines. There we go. That might be a little bit too big on that font size, so I will shrink that down a little bit to there. There we go. Now I'm kind of drawing some attention to that, right, with these little elements here. I'd say on this design I would definitely think this might need to get a little bit smaller here. So as you can see, let's go back to the templates. Here's the original template, the New Year's Eve. This looks nothing like this. Yes, there's balloons. Yes, there's polka dots, but completely different designs for 2 different purposes. And so, excuse me. So just wanted to show you how far we've come. We've been doing this for about 20 minutes. So I spent 20 minutes on this particular invitation design. Are there things I would change to it? Yes, I would probably continue tweaking the colors. I have a lot of different colors in here. Normally, I don't like to use that many colors, so I would probably make some tweaks and adjustments to that. But for training purposes, you can see we started with one template. We changed it into something totally different and customized it. And now when I'm done with this and I want to print this, I can go straight to print this invitation. And look what it's going to offer me. Hey, if you want, we can print this for you and ship it to you on these wonderful, awesome papers, and they'll be there within a week. So, oh, that's pretty cool. Now, maybe that's what you want. Maybe this is an event where you have set aside a budget for this, and this is a huge event, and so you're going to do something like that. We're not going to go in that direction, though. What we're going to do instead is we're going to download this. And it's going to give me some options here. So I click on this to download this. It's going to say, hey, do you want this as a PNG file? High quality image for printing? That's generally what I would use, is a PNG or a PDF. Either of those. I'm going to go ahead and just do PDF standard. I'm going to click on download. And it's going to say, okay, we're waiting here for a second. Now we're going through the process of setting all that up. I'm going to close that out. And then I have on here, let's see if I can bring this up within this window here. Hold on a second. All right, this PDF file. There is my invitation as a PDF. So I could then print this out, cut it out, print it on my printer at home, whatever, take this to Kinko's or whatever, have them print it. There is my design, my invitation, all set up. Okay, what's some other things I love about Canva? One of the things I love about Canva is all of this stuff is saved in the cloud with my Canva account as I go through this. So you can see here, it's generating the thumbnail for this. But here's some of the different things I've created over time for a number of different things. So I love that. Another thing I love about this is as you scroll down in here, here's all the recommended designs. So if you're creating something for social media, okay, if you have a presentation you're doing, here's a poster, A Facebook cover. You guys, this is huge. A lot of us have Facebook covers and we struggle with the right size and doing all that stuff. Come in here and create your Facebook cover. I'm going to click on this real quick. So I come in here to create my Facebook cover, and it automatically has the right pixel dimensions for you. And then look at all these wonderful designs they have over here that I can use. And we might say, okay, well, you know what? I want to use this particular design here, but I want to upload my own photo. I like this. I don't want this picture of this lady in here. All right, let's take that out. And I want to upload my own photo to this design. Over here on the left side, there's an uploads. Okay, and you can select a picture. Well, here, we'll use this picture of my son I uploaded previously. So I can select this picture, and there's this picture that I uploaded from my computer. All right, and I'm going to resize it a little bit there. And I'm going to go ahead and move the position. Let's move that backward, so this is here. And then we'll put in here Lincoln's Facebook page, or whatever it might be, whatever you're doing. If you're creating a Facebook cover for a group for your team, or maybe you created a page, your like VIP page, whatever it might be, you have the ability to do that with Canva. You come in, start with one of their templates. You can upload photos. So this is where you would upload a photo maybe of the kit or whatever it might be. You're going to upload that into here and create your Facebook cover photo. Okay, so that is super useful. And again, I didn't save anything, right? All I did was start to create stuff, and it saved it as it went along. So you can see there's there's the design I was just working on. Here's our invitation that we just created not too long ago. Okay, some other things in here. I've never used email headers. I don't like email headers. I think email should be email. I don't like all the fonts and all the crazy colors. Anything that stuff just makes it harder to read email. So I'm not a fan of those. Here's just a standard card. These are great for thank you cards. So I'm going to click on thank you on the card designs. It already has the dimensions figured out. It's a 7x5 card. And look at all these wonderful things in here. Birthday cards, thank you cards, invitation cards, greeting cards, all these sort of things. I'm going to say thank you card because we want to create a thank you card to thank people for coming to parties. Now, I know Tupperware provides some of these things in Vistaprint. And if you're not using the Tupperware logo, you can feel free to create your own thank you card. So maybe I just want to put in here, let's see, let's find a, oh, that's kind of a crazy design here. This is a good one. Thanks for attending. How about, thanks for attending my Tupperware party. And this is something, again, you go through the process of changing some colors on here. Well, maybe that's kind of crazy. That's a little bit much. And this is from your Tupperware lady. June, thanks for attending. Whatever it might be, you can come in and create some thank you cards thanking everybody for coming to an event. Let me go back home here. Posters. These are great. Big giant poster it's going to create for you. Advertising. So let's say that you have an event coming up. We'll go to an event poster here, and we're going to say, hey, we're doing I don't know, here, what's this? Okay, we're going to have a Tupperware booth over at the horse show, whatever it might be. You can have these posters designed and printed out. You would download these as a PDF and get those printed. So lots and lots of things that you can create with Canva. Yes. Oh, no, sorry. The last thing I wanted touch on with Canva is the custom dimensions. Where is that at? Oh, up here. If you're creating something and you have a specific size, right? Because they have lots of different things here to create. Desktop wallpapers, book cover. I mean, just it goes on and on. 3-panel brochures. This is another one. I should have probably talked about this. This is great. 3-panel brochure. If you want to put together a little brochure that's about your Tupperware business when you're recruiting, you can put together a little brochure like this. Drop some information in here. This is a pretty design. This is a pretty design. You could put Tupperware products in here instead of the ice cream. So lots of different options here. If at any point, though, you say, hey, I need something real specific in a specific size, up here on the top, you have this custom dimensions. So when I click on custom dimensions, I'm able to come in and say, you know what, I need this to be exactly 14 inches by 12. Let me put this in inches here. I need this to be exactly 14 inches by 12 inches. Because I'm putting it into this booklet, or I'm putting it onto this sign holder, or whatever it might be. You can put custom dimensions into there. And when you create a new design, again, you don't have to start with a theme. If you want to go, rather than starting with one of these themes, I start with themes. I think they're super handy, but you can just start straight from the get-go. So you can come in here and say, all right, let's start with a blank canvas. It's 14 by 12, because that's that weird size I told it. Let's put a background on there. All right, what kind of background do we have? They have all kinds of backgrounds. I can put a photo or a design background on there, or I can just choose a color. I think I'm going to pick this guy here. That's a fun background, right? I like that. And then I'm going to put some text on there. And you can see when I select on text, it's going to give me some font choices, some sort of layout sort of things. I like this. We can put this on here. So it puts that text on there. So I can build, if I don't want to use any templates, I can build my own design straight from here. I can come up here and grab some elements here. Let's say I want to grab some of these icons. Oh, I like this globe icon. That's a cool icon. I like that. It's a little bit big. And here's another thing I want to show you. I like this globe icon. I don't like that it's in front of my word, so I'm going to move it backward. And it's a little bit too dark, right? I want to kind of fade it in. So one of the things we can do here is when I select that globe, I can click on this transparency. That's going to allow me to fade that back a little bit. So I can click all the way down, or I can bring it up just a little bit. So I kind of want it more like this. And that might be a little too much with the zigzaggy background, so let's pick a different background. Let's go with the background that's more like this. Okay, that's all right. Maybe that's good, and maybe this should be white instead. So maybe I'll do white text. So you can see, as you get into here, the building blocks for these are all the same. It's text, and it's images, and it's things that are found in the elements. All of that is at your fingertips here. And then, like I said, when you're done with your design, you can save it or have them print it, or you can download your copy and print it on your own. So that is what I have today for training for Canva. So the challenge is going to be for you all. So here's the update on the challenges. I'm leaving a little more time. There were a couple people that reached out to me asking about a little more time for their Google Calendars and their Facebook Lives. And so I'm giving a little bit more time for people to submit to me those items. So again, for Facebook Live, I need you to send me a link to your Facebook Live so that I know that you went live with Facebook. And then for Google Calendar, just a screenshot of your Google Calendar. If you send those to one of those items to me, you'll be entered in for a drawing. So there's a drawing for the Facebook Live, then there's a drawing for Google Calendar, and then the drawing for this will be create something in Canva for your business. It has to be for your business. Baby showers don't count, birthdays don't count. Something for your business. Create it in Canva and email it to me. So my email address is right there, travis@growblooms.com. It's right there on the screen. Email me a copy of what you created. It could be a PDF or a ping file, whatever. Email a copy, and I will enter you into the drawing for something cool and tech related for that. So I'm going to switch this over to camera only, and I'm going to jump over here and see if I can actually see some of the comments. And I think I can, so give me just... Oh, you know what? I don't think I can see comments, not in the live broadcast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bid you all adieu, and I'm going to go jump into the comments if there are any questions in there, and I'll answer those in Facebook. But again, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight for Tech Bootcamp. Hope to see you next week. Have a great night. Bye.